back to my channel. We are going to repurpose this frame today for my craft room. I have this amazing anthropomorphic print. I don't know what this was from originally. It might have been from a book, but I'm planning to, this is what I want to frame. And I got this from a dear friend of mine on Whatnot, Cherry Bomb Vintage. And so it's just so good. I've had it for a while and I was waiting until I moved to basically frame it and get it put together. So, but I thrifted this frame. It was $3 at a local thrift store of mine, not the Goodwill. I have a couple little hole in the wall mom and pop thrifts, and I just prefer to support them if I can over Goodwill or some of the bigger thrift stores. Anyways, that's enough of that. We are gonna, for the first time, I'm going to actually use milk paint with you all. I have a bunch of samples that I purchased because I didn't want to commit to a whole bag. I don't know if they still are, but samples are $7 on Sweet Pickins Milk Paint website. And so we're going to do this color hollandaise. I have curry too, but I thought maybe because I'm going to darken it, it's going to get a little bit dark with the aging wax that I'm going to put over it to seal it in. And I just figured if I start with a lighter, I might maybe do like a little sprinkle of curry into the hollandaise because I want it to basically accent the yellow flower face girls. And so we're going to paint this whole frame. It's going to give this chippy, primitive look, but that's what we're going for. So yeah, I think maybe I'll sprinkle in a touch of curry. I just don't want it to end up being too muddled and dark. I could do clear wax. Well, we'll see. We'll see. My idea is that I want to paint with the milk paint, get that chippy look on here, and then ideally use an aging wax or antiquing wax to get in all the crazes and cracks and crevices. But if I feel this is already dark enough, I might do a clear and just to seal it in. So we'll see. We'll find out together. So I'm going to mix my paint up. This also has kind of a sheen gloss on there. So I'm going to need to sand that off or at least rough it up. I also have some shellac I could spray on this. I also thought about using Mod Podge as like a tacky layer. But this is my first time doing milk paint, so I'm going off of what previous other channels here have done using milk paint, and I haven't seen a Mod Podge base, so I've seen shellac and then just sanding. So I just need to at least get this gloss coat off, so that way the milk paint has a porous material to adhere to for the first coat, and then the second coat will be a little bit more chippy. That's the idea, at least. We will find out together. So this is a 1-to-1, but meaning one part milk paint, 1 part, if I could actually scoop this, 1 part water. So I'm gonna do 2 spoons of the hollandaise. So milk paint, if you're not familiar, even though this is my first time too actually using it, but I've watched so many other creators on here use it. I'm gonna do like a 1/2 spoon of curry. And I'm gonna kind of mix that up. Yeah, so see that darkened it just a bit. So we have a kind of in between. And this should be enough, but we can always mix some more if we need to. So let me seal these up before I spill milk paint everywhere, and then that'll end up being the bane of my existence. I spill milk paint. Okay, so now that we've got that mix, I'm even gonna dump these little catches. Ah! That's all right. Okay, so now I just threw some water in here. It's just tap water. We're gonna do equal parts. So we did 2. I'm gonna start with 2 and see where that lands us with thickness wise. I have one of these. You can just use the spoon, but oh, that might. Okay, I guess I'm using the spoon. See, you guys, you're learning with me. Isn't this so exciting? Isn't this just so fun to see all of the craziness that's going to happen here on my channel? So if you haven't subscribed yet and you like the chaos that's happening here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up and we'll keep on moving. So it's still like a very thick paste. So I might add a splash more. I might as well just rinse my guy off in there. So noted that I'm literally just a splash. That might have been more than a splash, but okay. We're gonna mix this up. And I should have picked a flat bottomed Tupperware. We're winning all the things today. This looks like something. Anyways. Color that we have mixed. So once you mix it all together, you're supposed to let it sit and thicken up. That's why if it's already thick before you even let it sit, you might want to add a little bit more. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to let that set aside. I'm going to clean this up a little bit and then we're going to paint our frame. Okay, so now our milk paint has sat. It's thickened up a little bit. As you can see here, it's a little bit thicker now. If you guys have watched previous videos, newer videos, I moved and I'm setting up my craft room. I couldn't find my sander blocks for the life of me. And I don't know if I decided to chuck them and not bring them and just get new ones. Whatever that mindset was when I packed them, if they even got packed, I don't know what I was thinking. So we're flying by the seat of our pants. I actually Mod Podged this. It's dry. And it did dull down. So and it's a little tacky, like, you know, you can feel the grip to it. So, it's not slick like it was before. So I'm pretty sure this is going to work. If anyone else has done this with milk paint, let me know using Mod Podge as your base. Let me know, but if not, we're going to find out together. So I'm going to get my first coat on and then let that dry. And then we're going to, come back in with a second coat. And typically your first coat will be a little bit sparse or thin. And then once you go back in with your second coat, that's when it really grabs onto that first layer and then you get that really amazing chippiness. So I'm going to keep painting and we'll come back when I've got both coats on and it is dry. Okay, so this is after 2 coats and it is fully dried. I did use a heat gun, so there's more cracking and crazing than if I had let this just air dry. But, you know, I craft when I can, so I didn't have time to wait for it to dry on its own is what I'm trying to say. So I didn't do the backside, but I'm going to have to, once I get a sanding block, I'm gonna have to sand this paint off the back, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna kind of rub with my hands. Whatever chips off, chips off. There's not a lot. Your milk paint can be chunky or have bits of chunks like this. See how it'll just pop right off. And if this is the whole point of this is to make it look like it's imperfectly imperfect. And I think I am gonna do antique wax. So I'm gonna flip this, get my crummies. I'm gonna flip this over, and we're gonna do Folk Arts antiquing wax here. So this is going to get in all of the little crevices and really make your the crazing pop. It's going to make all of this effort, or really it's effortless. You just paint it on and let it do its thing. You just always want to do at least 2 coats. Some of the colors are a little bit more not as thick. And I was thinking sometimes I just dip right into the bottle. I'm going to just do the lid so I can kind of watch how much. And you know what? Let me get a paper towel so I can kind of dab. Okay. Just so I can kind of manage how much. So we're going to cover the whole thing. I like to go in sections because the longer you leave your wax on, at least with this wax particular, the darker it will be. But I just want it to get into all those great little pieces. And so I'm going to wipe it back. I'm going to do 1/2 and then we'll wipe it back and see. And then that'll give you guys a chance to also see how. And I'm going to drop my stuff all over the floor. It'll give you guys a chance to see like how great this wax, like what antiquing wax will do to your piece. And it just really, and then I'm just kind of letting whatever falls off of the paint. You will have paint that chips off, but that's the point. So you guys can see the difference here. Words are so hard today. The wax is not here versus here. So it does darken it a bit. If it's too dark for you, you can go back in with a clear wax. Make sure it's clear, not white. And it will negate some of it. Won't completely eliminate it, but you just also have to be mindful that you watch, because sometimes it can make it look very chalky when you go in with the clear. So just be mindful of how much you put on. But I like the dark, kind of decrepit looking. Get this here. And then we're gonna make sure I get all my sides actually. Sorry if we're not in frame here. All right. You're supposed to use like a lint-free. I just use paper towels, you guys. Okay, we don't need to be spending. And most of us probably have paper towels in our home. Am I right? Or am I right? Okay, I'm going to wipe down all the sides. And I'm happy to report that it looks as though the Mod Podge as a base for my paint to stick to has worked out rather nicely. Yeah. So you see all the flecks on the floor? That's just the natural, the paint, some of it chipping off, some of it. And that's what we want. So you have to seal your milk paint in something. So, for the majority, I know that what I've seen is that creators just, end up using wax, but, I'm sure there's other mediums that you can seal this in with. And so now it's given it this old patinaed look to it. And this is exactly what I was going for. So I'm gonna assemble my frame and I'm gonna show you guys how it looks all put together.